All right, welcome back to another episode of the English with Grace podcast. Today we are going to talk about cultivating resilience, and I've invited the perfect guest. So to start, I'm going to have them introduce themselves, name, pronouns, where do you call home, and then what's your cultural upbringing?
Amazing. Hi, this is so exciting. I'm so happy. Hi everyone. My name is Coco. My pronouns are they, them, and my where I call home.
Yeah, where do you call home?
Where do I call home? Oh God, I feel like that changes.
That's why
I
I ask
feel
it.
I honestly, Grace, I feel like what I call home, the place I call home is when I'm on stage.
Ooh.
That is literally the place where I feel the safest. I literally can be whoever I want to be. Um, I can portray any character, any emotion. I can be as vulnerable as I want to be, and I just let everything out. And that's where, that's why when you think of home, you think of a place where you can feel safe and secure and powerful, and you're able to process. And that just always has been when I'm performing. Doesn't
Mhm.
matter how big the stage is. It's just if I have that center of the spotlight, it's a
Love
wrap.
it.
So I would
Oh,
say that for sure.
yeah, that's a perfect answer. And I've never had anybody take that question in that direction. So this is absolutely perfect.
It's me.
And yeah, home is where you can be your true authentic self. We talk about this.
100%,
Okay.
100%. And then
Um,
my
yeah, go
cultural
ahead.
upbringing. So
Yes.
I'm a first generation. So my family are immigrants from Sierra Leone, which is a small country in West Africa.
Hmm.
And my African identity has always been such an important, but also confusing part of my life, just because being an American citizen and like having all of, those cultural norms that I had to understand and learn and figure out. But then also my mom wanting to still uphold a lot of the cultural upbringings from from home. And so
Hmm.
it's a beautiful mix of things, especially as I like kind of combine into this melting pot of what I want to be the superhuman African American queer person. And I love my African culture. I love being here in America and just like kind of like, taking all the good parts of it and making it into something special. So
Yes. Oh, wonderful. I love that. And I feel like I'll have a lot of us students who can identify with that since I teach
oh,
English as a second language or third or fourth or fifth language. Um, there's so many different stories, and then they've told me that before. Like I kind of get to pick and choose like the culture
100%.
that I want, and then that's why we talk about the difference between the melting pot and the mixing pot. But we'll talk about that on a different episode.
We can't go off topic.
Oh, okay. Really quick before we dive into cultivating resilience, Albert, how do you know me? And that can be a quick or long answer, up to you.
Oh my God, how do I know you? So I met Grace through one of our mutual besties, Alex.
Mhm.
Alex and I, I was really thinking about this. This is so wild. Like I've known Alex since I was 18 and I'm 31. And we've been friends since like most of all of college. And um I always trust Alex's judgment in people because she just is very selective on who like enters her energetic field.
Mhm.
And I met you through her on my birthday, right? You guys, you don't understand.
You don't
it was
understand.
it was the weekend before
Yep.
before shutdown. My birthday was on March 13th, so that's when like things were kind of like, oh, we don't know. COVID's kind of becoming a thing, but we weren't sure. And so we kind of like I brought all my friends to Los Angeles where I was living at the time. And we had such a blast. We were safe, but like we also were like, nothing's wrong. And
Yeah.
then literally when my birthday weekend was over, they're
Everybody
like,
was like flying
the
home.
world is ending.
Wow, I actually forgot about how chaotic our first meeting was. This is
It was
great.
so chaotic because we were all just at peace though. And I just remember you being such a light and you were so like you didn't know any of us. Like we all been friends for X amount of years and you just fit right in and you were so like genuine, funny, bubbly personality. And I just felt like you and I clicked. And then years later, you know, going through
Reconnected.
heartbreak.
Going through heartbreak, and here we
Here
are.
we are, and
That's
now
all
like
it
became one of
takes.
my closest friends.
That's so funny. It's so true though. So COVID kicked off. We'll call it the COVID kickoff. Then it was like 2 years of not really like kind of hearing about you through Alex and keeping in touch through Alex. And now I don't think I've gone a day without talking to you
Talk
since
every day,
July.
Grace. We literally have talked every single day.
And I am so, so honored.
Oh no. And I'm again like I'm so grateful that you're doing this, and I'm grateful that you invited me to do this.
Yes, absolutely. Also, followers, I will give you all of Coco's information after this. You have to follow their YouTube
Please
channel,
follow me.
but I'll give you a chance to talk more about that at the end. But great
Right.
introduction. I'm so excited. I feel like we've already just really gotten into it, but we
We're in a
haven't.
flow
So
right now.
let's start with the first question.
Okay.
Coco, how do you cope or deal with difficult situations? Like maybe the ones we've already talked about.
Okay, so when I really think about that question, Grace, it's changed so much. I feel like as we get older, I don't know about you, but do you feel like like coping has changed since turning into our 30s, which is like literally the hugest epiphany in life? Like it's just like there's so many aha moments for me. Cause usually I'm a type of person that would just kind of I don't like being sad. I don't like feeling uncomfortable. I don't like feeling, I don't like stress. Like that's
Ew.
not my thing. I don't do that.
Go
And
away.
so- go away. It's not I don't like low frequencies.
No.
And I would just pick everything up and then keep it moving. Like, okay, we don't have time. I would just like kind of just do things, I would mask it in humor, mask it in my extroversion, like just all the things that just made me avoid. And I had a lot of friends too, not to say that I'm popular, but like I have a lot of friends to like
They are.
to like make sure that I don't have to go in those spaces.
Mhm.
But now being 30, you recognize that in order to cope, you have to like deal with those heavy emotions, which is not cute.
It's
But I
not
have to,
fun.
it's not fun. It's not fun. The work is hard, but we have to do it. And so now I deal with difficult situations being so, so honest with myself
Mhm.
and being very kind with myself and being, very transparent. Because some of the things like before, when you're in your 20s and you're a teenager and all that, it's just easy just to like bypass all of that.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'm at a point where it's like I can't do that. Like I'm 31 years old, like I'm ready to just be the best version of myself. And in order for me to do that, I need to just be as honest with my emotions and deal with it instead of run from it. If
Yes.
that answers the
So
question.
you would say you just handle it, you face it, you don't bury it,
No, no, don't bury it. Mm-mm.
and it's like,
Read it
okay, I
like a
gotta,
book.
yes,
Read
wow.
it like a book. Turn those pages, get your highlighter out, take some notes.
Oh wow, I love
Therapy.
that. I think everybody's like, "Oh, this is why she invited them on the podcast."
No, you gotta deal with it because
Yes.
it always comes up. It always comes up. And I think resilience is because you're able to actually have an understanding of who you are as a
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
It could be because resilience could be shown in so many ways, but
Yes.
I think the biggest part is just facing things head on with transparency and honesty and vulnerability.
Mhm.
And yeah,
That
that's
is
how
perfect, and you perfectly segued, of course,
I'm here for
into
you.
my next question. What does being resilient mean to you? How would you define it if somebody said, "What is resilience?"
Yeah. Oh God. I feel like I'm learning this as I go. So bear with me, listeners. But I feel right now, Grace, when I think of resilience, I think of when you're dealing with a very tough, difficult, hard situation in your life,
Mhm.
um, and how you respond. Doesn't mean you have to like be like, oh, I'm so mighty, I'm Wonder Woman. Like you don't have to be a superhero about it, but just kind
Mhm.
of just how you allow yourself to get oh sorry
You're doing great.
um how you allow yourself to move past it and get over it. um I am learning that with me, my resilience is being shown by taking time and being
Mhm.
slow. And because I feel once I'm actually able to really, uncover what is hurting me, what is causing me pain, then I'm just gonna be even more invincible than I ever once was. And so really just taking the time and like how you're responding to the conflict, to the issue, and allowing yourself whatever works for you to move past it, to overcome it, and to just, and I honestly believe too, like with all the negativity and all the stuff that can go on, like just having kindness and compassion and love, I think that's a big part. Those are the ingredients to resilience for me, at least.
Absolutely. Kindness, compassion, and love for yourself.
For yourself. For yourself. Yeah.
Yes. Well, as
Yeah.
well as others, but I feel like so often the people who are able to do that for other people, be there for other people, us empaths out there, to be
Us
empathetic.
empaths. Well, that's what
We
I'm saying.
just,
Like, because now I just feel like that is like what I'm learning now
yeah,
in being 31 is, oh, I need to be selfish with me. Like, I have to love
yes.
myself. Because it's like, at the end of the day, like, if you don't take care of yourself and you don't love yourself, how do you expect anyone else to do that for you? That's RuPaul, sorry. But like that,
RuPaul, please,
but
please.
that's like, that's a part of the resilience, is just like loving all of you, and then, standing in your frame and then moving forward. And so
Yeah.
it's an up and down roller coaster. It's not something that you're just gonna have like
Yeah.
every situation. I feel like there's so many situations where you're like, oh, this, okay, resilience, I'm waiting for you to show up right now.
Where are you?
Where are you?
Oh,
Come on,
wow.
we're on a schedule.
This is helping me so much. I forgot we're recording a podcast. Okay, really quick, I just want to mention you made me click because, yes, during my 20s, I think it was all about, I don't want to feel this. Nope, I'm fine. I'm happy. Move quickly. No healing.
Yes.
30s, it's like sit in the mess.
Oh God.
You
Get a
gotta.
candle, get a blanket.
Oh, wow. Yes, everyone, we listen to Brene Brown frequently.
We do.
Laverne Cox. We've listened to all of them, so we'll give you
Guys, we're
recommendations.
healing every step of the way. So
Yes, and everyone's like, oh, this makes sense that they're doing Cultivate Resilience. Okay, and then the last question before we get to the idiom, expression, or quote,
Mhm.
Coco, can you share a time when you or someone else you know showed resilience?
Oh my God.
I know.
Um,
And again, take this as you want. It can be big, it can be little, it can be, I got out of bed today.
literally, okay, actually, okay. So can I answer this in two parts?
Yes, please.
So the first thing that came to mind when you asked me that question,
Hmm.
um, so when we talk about us being teenagers, I was 19 when I lost one of my really good friends.
Mm.
He took his own life, and I also was right around my birthday too. And it honestly, Grace, was like one of the most difficult, most traumatic situations I've ever been through. And I think a part of it was because I just saw him like 2 weeks prior,
Yeah.
at hometown, and um I went through it. Like, I was going through it. This is like my first like close death experience, and then
Hmm.
having it be suicide was just a mind. I was about to swear.
Go for it. You are welcome to swear.
Okay, it was such a mind fuck for me because
Yes.
I couldn't comprehend, like, what I could have done, and so it just really brought me down.
Hmm.
And then what changed is I had to really navigate how I wanted to, one, process my emotions, but also how did I honor my friend? How could I show how much that relationship meant to me, how much that connection meant to me?
Hmm.
Uh, and even in the midst of grief, I had to perform. Like, I think it
Right.
was like the next day, and I didn't want to go. I was just like, oh Lord, I can't
Yeah.
do this. And my friend, who was the choreographer of the dance, she's like, I think you should still come, and I think you should dance for him. And that moment, I really like sat with it. I was like, I don't know, I don't really want to. I
Hmm.
really don't like moving. And I still, I feel like he spoke to me. Like, I just felt like this energy where I just like, I didn't have like the physical energy, but something like energetically really moved me. Like, where I just ended up at
Yeah.
the stage, and it was the best thing that I've ever did. Like, it was like I've never felt so powerful, felt so
Hmm.
much strength, and even though like it was like a partner dance. So I was lifting the girl,
Hmm.
but she was almost like she was lifting me up because I was so emotional and I was
Yeah.
so like I had so many feelings that was coming out, and I was able to just really like own my own strength in that moment. And I was like, oh, I'm capable of doing this. I'm able to get through this for him and
Hmm.
not, not let life pass me by, but allow me to, speak on his message, speak on his life and who he was to me. Sorry, I might get a little emotional.
Yeah. No.
um, Speak on like what he has done for me and so many of our graduating class from high school. Like it was so such a collective love for this human. And so I
Hmm.
knew that at that moment, what you can do through pain and when you're through sadness, especially through the arts, especially through the arts, like
Yes.
it was very magical. And I never forget that. And then after that, I made a whole suicide awareness show at my school where I curated all the movers, all the singers, all the spoken word artists.
Oh,
I
wow.
it came to me like in a dream where I just like had all these people that I just kind of like asked because we're all like a community of artists. So I was like, can you do
Sure.
this? Can you do that? And like, um, and coincidentally enough, we talk about synchronicities, like they all kind of had some, past relationship with like suicide ideations and
Hmm.
lost people, or they've dealt with mental health struggles. And it was just like, it was such a beautiful healing experience. And I was like, oh, like, see what you could do when you're resilient. You can move past the pain, it's
Yeah.
not going to go away. Like I felt the pain, I felt the entire time. And then it wasn't until my actual show day where I sobbed, Grace. Like I just let it all out. um and it felt like the right thing, it felt like the
Yeah.
right, it felt like divine timing. And yeah, so I think that was like a moment where I felt resilience got me through a situation that I did not know how
Hmm.
to move forward.
Yeah.
uh,
So you cultivated that resilience by dancing and basically honoring him, but channeling your friend.
yeah, it's almost like you like when you like really like zoom out a little bit and just
Yeah.
allow yourself to do, and especially like go
Yeah.
like still act even though there's still pain,
Yeah.
and take time. Like I obviously like I was listening to myself, so like if I didn't feel ready to do that, I would not have done that.
No.
Like
Right.
I'm a type of person who's very like sure of themselves enough that I would not have put
Right.
myself in a situation that I felt I couldn't do. But it was beyond me, Grace. Like that was like
Yeah.
way past me. And like I didn't know that then. But when I think about it now, I was like, oh, there was some woo woo that was happening.
Yeah.
Like it was so deep and it was so beyond me, and it was the most beautiful experience just to have the collective just hold me up the way that they did. It was very sincere, it was very genuine.
Hmm.
And after that moment of just releasing all that, I just felt so strong.
Hmm.
I felt
Yeah.
so strong and I felt so resilient. And it
Hmm.
taught me I was like to keep going even when things get hard, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so that's the big part. But then it's also interesting because like I went through my first breakup recently, and my resilience has been testing me now.
Yes. Which
I
happens.
Which happened when you were like, "Oh, I got out of bed today." That's literally what I was like. I made my bed today. That's
Yeah.
bravo,
Round
Coco.
of
You made your
applause.
bed today. Yes, you
Exactly.
did.
Yes, you did.
So I mean, it all changes. Like I feel like, and I think there's a beauty too of like slow resilience as well. Like just
Yes.
building that up. 'Cause I know once once I am on top, it's just I'm literally not gonna even be concerned. And I'm gonna be like,
No.
wow, I actually have been resilient this entire time. I just didn't know it.
Yeah, exactly. And giving yourself some credit. I feel like
Some credit.
just
The
talking
little
to
things
you.
matter, people. The little things
Yes.
matter. You made
Yes.
it out of bed today. Wow. You called
Absolutely.
your mom today. Yes, you did. You got yourself your favorite drink from Starbucks. I'm so proud of you.
Starbucks culture. I'm going to bring you back for Starbucks culture. You go get that venti.
You got it. You got it. You get
I
that extra
love that.
espresso shot.
Okay, but seriously, I did not know that that was the story you were going to share, and that
I didn't know
is
either.
not surprised. Gosh, I can't.
I blacked out for a second.
Well, no, but it's just so perfect. Like that's a perfect example of cultivating resilience and also Do you feel like your friend knew, the friend who asked you and said, I think you should perform, do you think that they also knew like this is maybe what you needed in that moment?
I see, and I think she's also very aware of the human experience and like the deeper side of it. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah.
I should ask her actually, because
Yeah.
I feel like, but she knows I'm such like my love language. Obviously, we have like words of affirmation and all that, but I
Yeah.
think my ultimate love language is creativity. Like I
Yes.
think that me sharing my art and my passion is my love language, and
Hmm.
I felt that like words could not express what I was going through, like articles couldn't express, like talking to
Hmm.
people. Like it felt that my presence had to be seen and I could just move through it.
Yeah.
I think she did know that. And it sparked so many things for me where then I was able to hold myself up and keep moving forward through the pain. So
Yeah, absolutely. And I also like that you mentioned, I think sometimes people start talking about toxic positivity.
mhm.
And you mentioned when you were saying that story, like if it wasn't for you, if it wasn't for you to do that to cultivate resilience, you wouldn't have. And it's not about pushing through and being, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine.
Oh
It's
yeah, no, we don't do fake
sitting
love.
through those. Like I just hear you saying over and over again, like slow, sitting through the pain and healing. And that's truly what resilience is.
It is. I mean, it's such a yucky feeling, Grace. Like, I
Yeah.
get it. I don't, like I said, I don't like feeling sad. Like, that's just not my vibe.
No.
I really, and like, when you really allow yourself to go through those emotions and really like allow yourself to build that strength up like in a very genuine space, it just will
Yeah.
completely shift your life, and then you don't have to come back to it ever again when you
No.
you know what I'm saying, like if you're able to work through it and build that resilience and you're like, okay, I did it, and I worked through it, I unraveled all the pieces, and so now I'm good.
Yeah.
Let's close that chapter. Okay, we're going on to the next one.
Next one. And also this is tying into like what's your sorry, I'm making connections. This isn't therapy for Grace, but I'm turning it into therapy for Grace. Noticing
A
those
new podcast.
patterns. Yeah. I'll start a new, don't people do like different genres of
Page
podcasts?
turn.
um Noticing your pattern, right? And then
Yeah.
if you don't figure out how you're healing, like maybe you're not healing in the right way, then I don't think there's any right way to heal, but like figuring out those patterns, and
Mm.
then that also adds to your resiliency, because then later you will have healed because you figured out what the pattern was.
Because you
I
could
don't know if that
easily
makes
have
sense.
fake resilience. You could easily have fake resilience. And so
Correct.
I think as long as you're being very honest and real with yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I hope people are like, I hope Gen Z is doing that right now, like because they're a different breed. And so
They really are. Also, really quickly, because I've had students ask that, I'll
mm,
say Gen Z, millennial, boomer,
oh,
Gen X. What does that mean? Can you give a quick?
I mean, from what I can
I don't know.
so baby boomers are like that era of like is in the 60s, I believe. Was it like the 60s to
And earlier,
oh
isn't it like, because my mom is on the cusp of boomer. My poor mom, we
what
call her boomer.
was there anything before boomers?
She was 64 though. She's a boomer.
Yeah, my mom's a boomer as well.
Yeah.
Well,
But then
actually, do like I wonder if African cultures consider themselves. I wonder what they would be because
that's the
that's
other
what
thing. Yes. Like, who are we talking about when
American
we
thing.
put these? Yeah.
So my
So
mom would be
this
like, "What?"
is,
She's like, "What the hell is a boomer? What's a baby boomer?"
yes, it's a
I was out here
good.
in Africa. I was not. I was out here booming babies.
Oh my gosh, this is so funny. Okay, I feel like now I need to have a separate podcast to talk about the different generations.
Literally.
But yeah, so you
Uh,
have boomer, and then the next generation is Gen X. I don't know the dates,
that's
but
like the
millennial,
80s,
like we're
right?
millennial, which is like late 80s into mid 90s.
Yeah.
Those are millennials, which
My
millennials get a
early,
bad rap.
my early 2000s.
Then Gen Z is like late 90s and up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because one of my brothers is on like, he's 97, and I think, no, he's Gen Z.
He is. Hold on, I need to look this up.
Okay,
Sorry.
you look this up. Yeah, we're getting way off track.
Sorry. Alex, cut this out.
Alex cut us off. No, I like to let Alex, my podcast editor, listen to this, and then she decides like, okay, this is nonsense. They got out of control, or this is great. We'll leave it.
Wait, why is it not saying the year? I just need to know the year. Oh yeah, that's so weird. Late 90s?
What do you
So they've
got?
been
Yeah,
around
I think
forever.
94, 95 is where Gen Z starts.
Okay, so that's why it blends because I was like, we're kind of like all the same, like
Yeah, mushy.
kind of, but
Yeah,
anyway, so Gen Z is like late 90s to
yeah.
now.
And then you get into Gen Alpha, which is the new ones who've
It's a
had
new one?
technology. Yes, the kids, the youths.
Oh, I hate it.
I
Grace, I can't
know.
keep up.
I know, but we will keep up. We're never gonna stop learning.
We're not gonna
Always
stop
lifelong
learning.
learners.
Yeah.
Um, okay, anyway, when you say that though, I tell my students a lot about, oh, this is people will say that's such a Gen Z thing or that's such a millennial thing or okay, boomer. It's a big part of speech these days. So I make sure to talk about it, but
Oh,
I'll add
because I
some
just feel like
info.
they're challenging a lot of the questions that we had as millennials. Like I feel like we were like the precursor of a lot of what they're doing now. Like I felt like the
Yeah.
like identity. I was my friend and I were talking about like we were talking about this a long time ago. We didn't have the vocab, you know.
Yeah,
You know what I
yes.
mean? And so like now they are having the definitions
Hmm.
or they're having the words to the definitions that we were creating back
Yes.
then. And
Yeah.
so it's kind of like this weird melting pot. Cause I was like, oh my God, I feel like I identify with Gen Z, which is very odd because I'm not a teenager anymore.
I
Uh,
know.
but yeah, why did I mention this? Why did I mention that part? We go wow,
I
track
don't know what, yeah, we got off track, but that's okay. I'll re-listen to it. But you said something about Gen Z
about like them. I hope that they're able to express something, their feelings.
themselves. Yeah, well, I think it ties into what we're talking about, like the different generations and how they cultivate resilience, I think, but I don't know exactly where you were headed with this. But that
Oh,
is totally okay.
that's
Part
fine.
of speech.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, should we segue into the last part?
We probably should. We're gonna be here all day.
I'm here for it. It's my podcast. I get to
You can do
decide.
whatever you want. This is
Okay,
your platform.
this is my platform. Okay, the last part is an idiom, expression, or a quote, preferably related to the topic, or it can be just one that you like. Do you have anything that comes to mind or anything? Oh, if you're not watching the video, they've got something.
Um,
Or they just got a really good text message.
no, I'm literally trying to like break. Okay. So, it's Our Deepest Fear by Marianne Williamson. And it reads, Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. I'm literally getting goosebumps right now.
I need a
As
minute.
we're liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
Okay, again, not I was not prepared for that. Okay, where did you find that? When was the first time that you came across that? I feel like that just is so, of course it is. It's so perfect. Like for everything that's going on at least in my life and this topic and
Right.
that's
No,
great.
and it's wild because that was a quote. I was telling you before this. I was like, before quotes were like a thing, like, oh, let's like write our favorite quotes. Like this stuck with me. I think I was in seventh grade. So it's by Marianne Williamson. I think it's like an older quote, but I heard it for the first time on Coach Carter. Have you seen Coach Carter before? The
No,
movie?
but I've been told I've got to see it.
Oh my homework. Watch it tonight.
Homework.
Put that in your planner.
It's on the agenda.
But that movie is oh my god, synchronicities. That movie is literally all about resilience.
Oh my
That's
God.
literally all
Of
about resilience,
course.
about all these inner city kids who
Mhm.
have to like overcome all these obstacles, and this one coach is teaching them the resilience. And the whole question throughout the movie is, what's your deepest fear? And they just like
Oh,
kind of, I don't know, like they're just like this whole moment, and then this monologue of one of my favorite characters in it, he says it, I just remember my young age literally crying because I felt
Yeah.
it. And I think also like at the time I wasn't fully out, I fully didn't know myself. Um, and just allowing yourself to be great. I think
Hmm.
that is why some people fail to be resilient because they just can't see themselves past the situation.
Yeah.
Uh, but when you allow yourself to just be as powerful and as fabulous and honor all of your greatest strengths, but then also your insecurities and your weaknesses and really make it into something beautiful, you're gonna be so resilient, like you can make it through anything. The fear is
Wow.
just failing. The fear is like not doing, and
Yeah.
that is what. So like resilience is all about action, even when things are not going the way you want to.
Yeah. And
And that
action when you do fail. Like,
actually when you do fail, it's okay,
yeah,
you know,
get back up.
get back up. And it's not,
Hmm.
and you might fall a few times, but that is the part of the journey. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, this
Hmm.
sounds so preachy. But like I just really like
Preach.
feel that, especially now where what how I've been healing, it is like there's moments I tell you all the time, like there's days when I'm just singing on the mountains like Julie Andrews from The Sound of Music, and then there's times when I'm literally buried in my blanket, and
Love that
both
reference.
both of those can be true, and both of those are part of resilience. Like I
Yeah.
am honoring my emotions, I'm telling myself what I need, and I'm building my strength up to become the best version of myself. And I think I'm doing myself a great service right now.
I don't know what just happened, but that was absolutely perfect. It all just tied in so
You did,
well.
you did a
Question
great
one,
job.
two, three, looping it in. Coco, thank you so, 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 so much
Thank
for coming
you.
on the podcast and being your authentic self and
Uh,
sharing all of this just amazing wisdom. I gotta go journal.
I was like, I gotta go meditate. Let me pull some cards. I
But
love you so much, Grace. Thank you so much for letting me be a
likewise.
part of this.
And we can't forget, where can my listeners find you? I will also link anything, but what do you got coming up? Where are you at?
Oh my God, friends. If you don't mind, I just started a YouTube channel. So I am a full-fledged YouTuber.
Woo!
Early stage. I just did it literally a month ago, Grace. It's only been a month.
Wow.
So please, please, I am talking all things that is so me, so real and
Yes.
authentic. You get to hear about my heartbreak and me healing. You get to hear about my identity journey. I just came out as non-binary just a few months ago. So this is all new to me. And you get to see me react to pop culture, review pop culture things. It's just all of the different facets of who makes Coco Coco. You get to see it and just all in all my glory. So I would love if you guys would come on over to my YouTube channel, subscribe, like,
Yes.
comment. Let's have a conversation. I love it. I
Love it.
love it. I love it. And then also Instagram and TikTok. I'm not really big on TikTok, but that's going to change this month. That's my November goal.
Love it.
So unapologetically Coco is my YouTube, my Instagram, and my TikTok. So
Beautiful. Unapologetically Coco. I will put it in the podcast description. Again, thank you so much. And we already know they will be back. We have
I
to have
will
them
be
back.
back, friends. We have so much to talk to, apparently.
Love it.
Therapy with Grace.
Therapy with Grace. That's a wrap.